Hey guys and gals, Jomila back here with another video for Infinity Kingdom. Today's video we're going to be going over what to do as a new player. So I started on this new server, 82, and I've noticed the most common request from people in chat is, what do I do? How do I get stronger? Why are you guys so much stronger than me? And a little bit has to do with spending, but that's not everything. There's other ways to do it. So we'll kind of break down the steps, tell you everything you should be looking out for, what you should be chasing on the early days of a new server. So let's get into it. Alright, first, we're going to start with the academy. As soon as you get this thing built, you want to start researching. It's going to make you start with production. This is actually a really good tech to research. You should kind of have this sped up to be leveling with your academy. Meaning, have this at the highest level it'll possibly let you for the level of your academy. Next, you're going to get into troops. This is really important here, superhuman speed. But all these troop attacks, whatever's on your team, obviously you're going to have bowmen. And then you'll have a mixture of, hopefully one shieldman and one cavalry, or a cavalry and a spearman, or some mix of two of these. So focus on the ones you use. You see, I don't have a shieldman on my team right now. I've got a cav and a spearman. So I'm leveling all these up to kind of match into each other. And then defense too. And then finally you get here to this big HP buff. This thing's huge. So you want to get that researched as soon as possible. I'll be starting my spearman next. It's going to keep them alive a lot longer, keep them doing damage. It's going to boost your rating up. So tech is a big one. Also make sure to boost your Immortal tech. So for me, I run Merlin right now. So I'm boosting the Bowman Immortal magic attack. He's the strongest on my team. Merlin hits heavy. So you want to boost his magic attack. If you have a physical Bowman like a Yoshi or a Ashoka or Gilgamesh, you'll focus this one. But you can only level the magic one as far as your physical one is. So it takes a little bit longer. Anyway, use all your research boosts. Get research done as fast as possible. It's going to give you a lot of power. Alright, next up is gear. Alright, so gear is going to be hugely important. You want to make sure you're killing gnomes. Kill a ton of gnomes. They're going to give you XP to level up your immortals. And they're going to drop gear. If they drop gear that you're not going to use, you break that down. You use the green stones to gain more gear. Give you a quick example here. We'll attack a Trent level 20. So that's all you got to do. You hit search. It brings one up right next to you. You don't have to go marching all far. Hit attack. Next thing you want is this talent here. I'll show you where it's at after this fight. But Immortals gain 100% bonus experience when fighting. 6-hour cooldown. You can store up to 4. So we're going to use that here. Get extra XP. Here comes our troops. Alright, so troops attacked. So we got our victory. We didn't get any gear from them this round, but we got a lot of green gems. And that's basically it. You want to farm gnomes almost until you're out of AP or you're out of troops. Now the talent that I was talking about, you can get fairly quick. It's the second one down in the support tree. It's much more important early game than these other two. As you get into the late game, you'll probably switch to this one. But for early game, this thing is huge. It's going to level your characters up a lot faster. So right there, second one in the talent tree for development. Third, if you are running a fire or an earth or a lightning or a water team, you need to level your dragon's abilities. So you have a daily quest to kill 3 of a boss every day. So make sure you're killing at least 3 of the boss to your corresponding team. Like me, for example, I use a wind team, so I just kind of kill what levels up my second team, my earth. Because wind, you can only get the shards from the arena. It sucks. Anyway, make sure you're taking out at least your 3 bosses a day. Try and do more if you can, because leveling up your dragon skills is going to be huge. Going back to the talent tree, if you want early power, obviously this here, 30% crit is huge. Make sure you level that up as fast as possible. And then this marching speed up really helps your troops. Otherwise, it's like they're moving in even slower motion than they're already moving, but marching speed increased by 50%. Big ol' buff to go for. Next up, we're going to talk about Well of Time. So you get to the Well of Time, you complete stages, and it'll give you these different rewards down here. What these do, if you go to your Immortals, I'm going to give you see all mine are at 11 right now, or 10, right? So every time you level them, you got 6 different trees. It'll level their strength, which increases your physical attack and physical defense. It'll level their agility, which is your dodge rate. Their physique, which is health. Intelligence, which is magical attack and defense. Aptitude. Aptitude is, we'll go over aptitude in a second. And troop number. The more troops you have, the better. Every time you fill the ring, it'll give you this middle buff. The middle buff changes with each level. So going from 11 to 12, it's going to give me dodge rate. And it costs a certain amount of gold. It goes up each time. As far as aptitude, what that is for is assigning immortals in your castle. The higher their aptitude, the bigger buff you get over here from them. And that's really it. So make sure you do as much Well of Time as you can every day. If you need it quickly, for example, Moctezuma, if I have that unlocked, I can go here, I can raid. I don't have to go into the Well of Time. You can raid any stages that we've already beat. So that just makes it go a little faster for you. Right, next up is Ruins. This is important just because, not necessarily to give you power, but to give you resources to level up throughout. The game gives you gems, gives you Philosopher's Stones, different things, resources, stuff like that. And there's a quick, easy way to do Ruins. There's a built-in system into the game where you'll see here, and these are on a cooldown. You can click that. It's going to take you right to the ruin, and you can explore it. Now, I only had one. You see, you got your counts around here that tell you how many ruins you've explored in each territory. So me, I'm going to just go to one random territory. We'll say this one. I've got 17 out of 24 explored. You click, and then click the little sign here, takes you right to that area. I'm gonna zoom out. What's up, June? So you're gonna zoom out and you just kind of search up and down, see if you can find any of those exclamation points. Bam, there's one, and I explore. That's all for that. Next up is troops. So you see all my barracks right now are at level 20. When you first start the game, you want to rush your barracks to level 20 as fast as possible. So what that means is you're leveling up one resource on each version because you're going to need a corresponding resource upgraded to upgrade your barracks. So I've got the other ones kind of midway leveled up just with my extra builder, but make sure you get at least one keeping pace with your castle. Then you want to level up whatever building your castle requires you to level it up. So when you go to upgrade for the castle, it'll tell you I need my wishing fountain and obviously my wall upgraded before I can upgrade the castle. So as soon as your castle finishes upgrading, you upgrade your training grounds, you take your second builder, you start upgrading your tiles, and if you have your third extra builder, you can upgrade 2 tiles at once. Then you're going to upgrade your required building, in this case which would be my wishing fountain. And when your training grounds finish, you upgrade your wall, and then you go right to the castle. Keep that in rotation. Just keep it going. Your castle takes a while to upgrade, so while it's doing that, you can take your extra builders. You can upgrade some of the buildings you need, like your Tower of Knowledge, your Academy, your Hospital, or more nodes if you need extra resources. What happens, the reason you want your barracks to level 20 is you get better troops, right? So once you get the tier 3 or T3 of troops, it ups your power a lot, significantly. I mean, when I went from T2 to T3, I jumped from a troop power of about like 27k to about like 36k. I think it was almost 10,000 in troop power just from going from one stage to the next. So definitely a good idea to level that up. Alright, next up is your Hall of Immortals. So summoning. Summoning is huge. It's not just how you get new characters. It's also how you break down shards and get the purple gems called soul shards. That's how you upgrade abilities. That's how you search the market. This is going to be a huge aspect of how you get stronger. It's geared a little bit more towards the payers. So if you're free to play, I mean, you're still going to chase as many Philosopher's Stones as you can. Never, ever do the one pool. Alright? You'll get a free one each day. So that's okay to do the one pool. But when you can, make sure you save up 9 and you pull 10 at once. You get a free one each time. Now, we'll do one here real quick. Don't do as I do with the gems unless you have a lot extra that you'll have for spares. So you see here, I got a fresh Immortal. I got 40 Med B frags. And what you're gonna do after you summon, you come over here to your alchemy lab, and you're gonna break down these shards. Gives you a ton and a ton of purple gems, and we'll see where we use them next. Alright, now you can lock any of the Immortals that you have on your team to make sure that you don't accidentally trade them. Alright, so we're going to break them down. I get 5,700 soul shards in the bank. What you do right after that is you go over to the market. Alright, now here you're going to be looking for a couple different things. If you're first starting out, you'll probably have some purple Immortals on your team, so you want to build them up. If you're chasing after a specific Immortal that you might not have yet, that's purple, just to round out your team. You can buy their shards before you own them here, which is really cool. But right now, you see, I've got nothing. Never waste your gems on this stuff here in the bottom row. Always use it for Immortals. The other thing that you'll use your purple shards on is in the Tower of Knowledge. This is important. Early game, you want to try and fill as many extra abilities on your Immortals as you can. I'd say you try and get them boosted up to about 3 or 4 to make them more useful. Right now, I've got nothing I really need. You see, I've got Silence is a key one early on. Make sure you grab Silence. It helps you out with the Well of Time a lot, especially. One of the heal ones, I like Support better. Stump is just a nice stun. If you have a support character on your team, it's a nice ability to throw on them. And then these are just basic. They're going to get broken down eventually, but the extra magic, physical attack, and defense does help with survivability early on. So make sure you're doing your tower. Also, one more thing you should be chasing is your quests. So you have daily quests. You want to make sure and fill these up every day, max it out, because you're going to get gems, Philosopher's Stones, more market orders, to go all the way down, more gems, more speed ups, more market orders, even these small Philosopher's Stones, SP, so you can run Well of Time to advance your Immortals even more. The quests are very easy, you know, use XP scrolls. Sure, so click it. I've got a few XP scrolls. Who's the lowest level? Mulan Moctezuma. Boom. Yeah, now Mulan is a 26. Might even be able to boost Moctezuma up. Yep, Moctezuma is a 26. And you kind of just want to start with your heaviest hitters in the level, so now I'm going to go back to Merlin and boost him up to 27. So daily quests are a huge part of the game. Make sure you're doing them every day to get those rewards. Then, oh, and you can cheese this one, by the way. So buy 5 items from the market. If you're not getting the characters you need on the market, you see I've got 1 out of 5. I can go right here to the market. I can buy, now I'm at 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, just completed the quest. Right? Collect my rewards. Grab my chest. Now I go right back in here into the alchemy lab, and I just sell the shards that I just bought, and I get my 500 back. because it's an even exchange. You sell for just as much as you buy. Slight cheese to that little quest, but it's still nice to do. Next, you need to make sure you're checking these quests on, right? So you get weekend login stuff. Infernal Assault is huge. Right now, we are taking the number 1. There's going to be Expel Gnomes. These are huge and they're so easy. You just need to kill 20 gnomes. You'll usually have a 1 or 2 day period that you need to do it within, but you get gold, you get speed ups, totally worth. You kill gnome bosses, and these things are like gold in real life. Make sure you kill whatever highest level you need to be, level 2. Make sure you kill them. Make sure you get these speed ups. They're so important that you are going to need them. And this quest line comes up a lot. Alright, next up is teams. I'll give a quick breakdown of who you kind of want to be chasing early on and what you're going to do with your builds. So, first team, I'm using Wind here, so we'll just go over Wind. With a Wind team, you're going to want Saladin in your front row with either Hannibal Barca or Arthur. I'm going with Arthur this run because I'm in the Green Kingdom. Shieldmen get a 5% HP buff. Or I'm sorry, not Arthur. I'm going with Hannibal for this run because I'm in Green Kingdom and Shieldmen get an HP buff. Arthur's a decent defensive immortal. If you've got the cavalry buff, even better. Throw him in there. He's got some really cool sort of skills that he can do. But I'll be going with Barca. He has a nice natural cleave, and he'll have an extra HP buff from me being in the Green Kingdom. Always try and pair up, with that if you can, with your corresponding kingdom. Now, obviously early on, you're not going to be able to fill your team with gold immortals, right? So what I did, and then for the time being, until I get Barca, I put in Milan, right? So the best early wind would be Milan with Arminus, with Moctezuma, and then for your damage slot, you can go with either Robin Hood, or if you're going to pay a little bit to get Merlin, he's going to do a lot more damage than Robin Hood. The little buff you lose for having a team of a matching element is not going to be as good as the damage you get for adding Merlin to your team in place of Robin Hood. The other person you could add if you're lucky and you pull him early would be Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is great if you get a lucky early pull, throw him in there. His shards aren't too rare in the market, so you'll be able to star him up fairly quickly. Next would be Fire. Fire is probably the best free-to-play team in the game because you can max out all 4 mortals without paying a penny into the game. So your early Fire team is going to look something like Sonata with Spartacus, wherever he may be. Spartacus. So it'll look like Sonata and Spartacus. Your back line most likely be Edward. And if you're lucky enough to pull Ashoka, you'll put in Ashoka. If you're lucky enough to pull Gilgamesh, you can put in Gilgamesh. Or if you spend a little bit to have Merlin, you can put in Merlin. Otherwise, there's not another Fire backline purple immortal. Med B is a good option if you're just going with purples. Next is Water. So for Water, your front early line, they basically give you Brynhild. So you're obviously going to use her. Next, they're going to give you Lancelot as well. So he's easy to level up along with Brynhild. They're going to give you Helen of Troy. She's also easy to level up. Then you have a couple options. If you spend a little bit, just like the $1 for gems, you definitely get Merlin. I suggest doing that. Water is going to be the second best free-to-play team, or low spending, because you want to spend that $1. to get Merlin for sure. But if you're not going to get Merlin, again, if you're lucky enough to pull Gilgamesh, throw Gilgamesh in there. Otherwise, you have Tomo. She's another rare. She hits okay. Your team's not going to be all that special if you have Tomo in there, though. You're better off with Gilgamesh or Merlin. All right, next up is Earth. So for Earth, you'll have a great team here of frontline Boudica and John Henry. Then for your backline, you'll have Isabel and Amanator. As soon as you're lucky enough to pull Cleopatra, you put Cleopatra in there. She's one of the ones that you'll get a little earlier. If you're spending, you can put in Alex, because you'll be able to get Alex really early, just like you can get Saladin for the wind. You can actually get Attila, will be a great frontline person to replace Lancelot if you spend a little bit to get him. That's for water. And so next up is lightning. Your lightning team is going to be William up front, along with if you're able to pull Bedivere fairly quickly, you can get his shards from the market for cheap. You'd go up front there with William Wallace. Otherwise, if you're lucky enough to pull a Peter or a Richard, or you're spending a little bit for El Cid, you can go ahead and put them in there. I do not really recommend El Cid. An endgame lightning team looks really good with Richard and Peter up front. I have a video on that, and you can watch if you're near the endgame and you want to see how to build lightning. Anyway, and your back line for early game will be a Balji. There's not a literal lightning backliner, so with a Balji, the combo is really good with Med B. A Balji lowers magical defense. Med B is a magic bowman, and she does significant damage. Otherwise, as soon as you pull Yi Song, he will replace Med B. The only other backline lightning is Genghis Khan. He costs $100 USD, so he'll come out later as the server gets older. Highly recommend if you're going to spend the money, because he's awesome. Alright, now this part's just for the spenders. If you are going to spend a little bit on this game, I highly recommend these daily deals. It's about $6 a day, American dollars. You get Mystery Pearls, 1 Philosopher's Stone for the major pack. This AP recovery is huge. These 30-minute speed ups are huge. VIP points help. The gems help. And Alliance chest definitely helps your alliance out with getting some free resources. The middle one, 5 pearls compared to 10. 1 Philosopher's Stone, medium potions, which are still good. 15-minute speed ups are great. The gems are great. Another gift for your alliance. Water power. This is awesome. It's only $1. It gives you the same 5 gems and 10 market refreshes. That's huge. You definitely want these market refreshes because you want to max the stars out on your immortals as fast as possible. So you go in that market, you buy the shards for the immortals you carry, you level up their abilities. And then obviously 5-minute speed ups are great. Still not many of them though, but it's only $1. And VIP points, gifts for the alliance. If you're gonna buy any of the extra special bundles, the Immortal promotion starts out at $5. You get 3 Philosopher's Stones, market refreshes, some VIP points. The next one's $10. You get 5 Philosopher's Stones, another 10 market refresh, scrolls, VIP points, gifts. The third one's 20. I usually hold off on that one, but Shining City is a great one. Gives you a lot of building speed ups. You're gonna need those. You need to keep your buildings turning and burning. First one's $5, next one's 10. And then you have your Gnome's Treasure. When this shows up in your shop, is a great buy. Starts out at $5, then 10, then 20, then 50. Basically, as you buy one, it releases another one and increases the price. There's another one I like to buy. Resource Reserves. This also starts out at $5, and you get a ton of 50k resource boosts. So it just helps you out in building. It really works well in combination with the Shining City. And And those are the main ones I recommend buying. If you're really going to whale out, I mean, by all means, you're going to buy more. Charles is a great Immortal to have. He fits on almost any team. The Dragon Chest is good if you're running an Earth, Lightning, or Water, or Fire. There's a different Dragon Chest in the beginning of the game that shows up back here if you're running Wind. Gives you a reduced amount, but it's still worth buying because Wind Dragon Shards are very hard to get. Now, in the daily deals, these Mystery Pearls are to get shards for the paid heroes. Attila, Alexander, Saladin are all vital for their respective teams. You're going to need them. El Cid, you're better off with Richard, but these three are great for their respective teams. When you get your first buy, if you buy all 3 daily deals, you'll get 20 of the Mystery Pearls, and there'll be a chest here to immediately unlock one of these 3 Immortals, so you can put them on your team right away on day 1. And then from then on out, with your 20, you'll be able to buy essentially 20 shards a day for that Immortal. They do rarely show up in the market, but they cost 500 green gems for 5 shards or 1,000 green gems for 10 shards. If you got the money and you're spending it, it's just worth it. It's worth to buy that. Other than that, I mean, that about does it. So as your Immortals rank up in stars, you'll unlock more abilities. See, he needs to be 5 stars. The Epic Immortals can get 3 abilities. The Elite ones can get 2. And that does it for the video. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'm happy to help you out. And see you on the next one.